Did anyone else just hear the fireworks outside? So out of the blue, I went on Anycubic's website today just to look around, and I noticed that the Mega X is now discontinued. After 2+ years, they are no longer selling the Anycubic Mega X, and they insist that you move on to the Cobra series of printers that they have now released. I was aware the machine was on sale, however, I was not aware that they were getting rid of this product so quickly and focusing on their newer products in their product line. Sure, I understand that's how product life cycle works. However, the machine was only available for 2.5 years, which seems kind of on the lower end. And also for someone that makes Anycubic Mega X content here on the channel, I figured we need to talk about this a little bit, especially if you just got your Anycubic Mega X, or you're like me who's had the machine for 2+ years and is still looking for new ways to keep this machine up and running. So let's talk about this. Hey everybody, Big Jano here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic night. All right, I'll make this a short video, I promise. I know this isn't much to talk about. However, considering that I've made content for this machine back here for 2+ years now, I wanted to give you all my thoughts on this perspective and give you some tips to make you feel a little less stuck in the mud, especially if you just got this printer. I also wasn't planning to make this video so soon. However, with all the global shortages and parts nowadays, as well as the constant evolution battle of 3D printers nowadays with even bigger and better features than it were 2 years ago, it does start to make sense a little bit. I mean, it's no question, if you're going to pay a few extra dollars more and buy a 3D printer that has a few extra features and ease of life capabilities versus this machine that's 2 years old, that's no question you're going to go to that printer every single time. However, like I said in my original video 2 years ago on the Anycubic Mega X, I still firmly believe this is a good intro to 3D printer for someone that's just getting into the hobby. It gets you hands-on and it lets you learn about your machine, so if you do need to take things apart, fix things, you can do so once you get more comfortable with it. This is a good machine to do that on. So I don't want to give up on the Anycubic Mega X just yet. I still do have a few more Anycubic how-to videos for the series for this channel that I want to make, so stay tuned for those. I want to try to put out as much content as I can on the Anycubic Mega X so it can help all of you guys out, whether you need to replace a part or you want to make some upgrades. That's the focus of most of my videos on my channel, so I feel like I have the right that I need to continue to do that as much as I can, as best I can. With that being said, let's figure out where we go from here. First and foremost, now is the time to start thinking about replacement parts that you're going to need for your machine down the road when things start to break or you want to replace things. I, for one, would start stocking up on additional spare parts for your Anycubic Mega X, such as a couple spare hot ends, maybe another motherboard or two, maybe another glass build plate if you're using the glass bed still like I am. I would stock up on a few spare parts for your machine, especially things that you know you're going to be doing maintenance on in the next few months or wanting to replace in the near future, as once these are not manufactured anymore, I don't know how readily these will be available. I know that's not always in everybody's budget. However, it's better to be safe than not be able to get these parts down the road if they're completely gone for good, and that'd be really unfortunate timing, especially if you just got this machine. The good news is, as of time of filming this, they still have on their website for the Mega X series available parts for the machine, such as the V5J head hot end here, the Tri-Gorilla motherboard, as well as the glass plate for the Mega X. The other good news as well is that the nozzle for this machine is a standard V6 nozzle, so you can get those readily available at other vendors or on Amazon if you can't find them on their website. I would also recommend joining the Anycubic Mega X Facebook user group. I know Facebook isn't the most popular platform nowadays. However, there's a lot of people in that community, and you might be able to find a spare part from somebody in that community that doesn't need it anymore, especially if you can't find it on their website or if it sells out and you can't find it on Amazon as well. You might be able to find something there. It also seems like Anycubic is the most active on Facebook, so you might be able to get updates from someone who works directly through Anycubic, or you might be able to get a part through them if you reach out. And as a reminder, I am not one of those people, so asking me in the comments for parts isn't going to help you either. Although this also gives you an opportunity to think about making some upgrades to your Anycubic Mega X. Adding some quality of life upgrades also isn't a bad thing to keep your printer up and running for longer. I did just upgrade the hot end to a V6 style hot end from the V5 style it comes stock with, and I'm also looking at down the road maybe upgrading the motherboard to something a little bit newer. If you guys have done any of these upgrades already, let me know in the comments what you guys used and let me know how your thoughts are on that. While having readily spare parts available is good, I'm going to reinforce also the importance of preventative maintenance, especially on your 3D printer or any machine really. If you've been putting off your preventative maintenance on your 3D printer like I kind of have, I'll be honest, now is the time to start making a plan on the parts and components you need to check on a weekly or even monthly basis. Parts to check include your belts, both on the X and the Y axis. These parts will give out eventually and you will need to replace them, so taking a look at those every so often, making sure there's no tears or strains is a good idea. I would also check your dual Z rods and making sure there's enough lubrication still on the rods, and if they need cleaned off and relubricated, that you do so. I would also check any moving parts on the machine, as vibration over time with printing can loosen up hardware such as nuts, the bolts, the things that kind of hold things together. So making sure all your nuts and bolts are tightened down, that will make sure your print quality doesn't suffer in the long run and your printer can still run pretty well. Even the gears and the bearings in your extruder are going to wear out over time. So making sure those components are checked frequently is also not a bad idea. Also keep in mind that, especially on the Facebook user groups or any social media website, if you had a question about something that you need replaced or fixed, 9 times out of 10 someone has already done that same fix that you need to fix and has come up with a solution for it. So instead of trying to figure out it yourself, you might be able to get an answer online somewhere. So just keep that in mind if you're on the Facebook user groups or on other social media websites as well. Also, not to be biased, but we do have the Anycubic Mega X how-to series of videos here on this channel. If you haven't seen any of those videos yet, the link will be up above in the video. So definitely take a look at those if you haven't yet done so. Okay, I think we're going to wrap it up here for the most part. I know it does sound like the beginning of the end for the Anycubic Mega X over here. However, there's still a huge group of us here in the community that have this machine, that still use this machine after 2+ years, myself included, and I'm going to do my very best to keep this thing up and running, and I hope some of these tips and suggestions will help you keep yours up and running as well. As always, if you have any additional comments or questions on the Anycubic Mega X, feel free to drop a comment down below, and I'll do my best to answer it or take a look at it. Also, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't yet done so, and hit that notification bell so you guys know when the next one's coming. All right, that's going to be it for me. Thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. I'll catch you in the next one, and until next time, keep doing it big.